We're over here down by the container. That's where we have the 494 tractor parked, and it has been cold, like negative 15 below Fahrenheit. So I want to put some 911 in it so we can get it running. Not today. I'm gonna let it sit, but oh my gosh. Hold on. I want to let it sit for a little while. It's warm today, but it's gonna be getting cold again tonight, down to 15 below zero tonight. So make sure the good old T494 is ready to go when we need it. We'll let this sit. I'd like to get it started tomorrow and brought to the house, but I think it's gonna be too cold tomorrow. So we'll let the 911 work and we'll bring it up maybe the next day. We'll wait for it to warm up a bit. Now we gotta go over to the house, and I had to go pick up a new heater yesterday. Right now we're not getting enough sun, as you can see, to charge our solar panels to run all electric heat in the house. So we've been running our torpedo propane heaters. They're not rated for indoor use, and Gina does not like that. So I went out and I picked up another indoor use propane heater. So we need to get that hooked up this morning and running before we can get to work, because it's gonna be getting cold tonight and the next couple of days. So we gotta make sure we have a heat source working that is good and Gina feels comfortable working in. So let's head on up. Oh yeah, we got the road opened up nice and wide because they're gonna be logging in like a week or two. They started logging last winter and they weren't able to finish what they needed to log. So we have a forestry plan with this property, and there's different things that we have to do to manage it, and one of them is logging, and we need to finish the logging plan we did last year. And because we're gonna be having such a nasty cold snap again, it is not the right time to be hooking up our outdoor boiler. Unfortunately, I was hoping to already have the outdoor boiler hooked up and running by now, but the weather has not been cooperating with my plans. We didn't get anything too fancy, just a Mr. Heater indoor propane heater. I got it hooked up to the tank. I got a squirt bottle filled with soapy water. I want to make sure nothing is leaking. Alright, I'm not seeing any bubbles. That is a good sign. Let's see if this thing fired up. Pilot, lit. There we go. So fancy. I can't wait till we have the outdoor boiler hooked up and we don't gotta mess around with this stuff. But we have heat for now. This will make Gina happy. What do you think of your new heater?
Quiet.
It is nice and quiet. We can leave it running while we're working. The other heaters we weren't able to.
Great. Makes me a lot happier.
Alright, I want to work on finishing up door openings in the bedrooms. I know we're kind of jumping all around the place, but I need a break from plumbing, and I want to get the upstairs bedroom doorways all framed in. It'll be nice to see what the upstairs is going to look like. Plumbing, I don't mind doing it, but it's not my favorite thing to do. I think we all have those things we don't like to do, but like we do them. I want to go 82 to 81 and a half. I love learning new things, and plumbing is one of those that takes me a little bit. I think especially nowadays, it's good to know as many of the trades as you can. It's not always easy to find somebody to get the job done. So if you know how to do it yourself, you can take care of it.
Look, we have doorways. Let's see. See a pocket door and a regular door. Now I can come back.
Look at you and all your fancy tools. You got all the gadgets.
Yeah. I just know someone.
Good thing you got all your fancy tools.
Is this real?
Sure looks it.
Crazy. It is crazy.
But it works.
It did. Wow, I really thought, what the heck is this tool? It's kind of awesome. It's my first pocket door. What do you think?
Came out good.
Think I can do another one?
Yep, but now you gotta wait until we put one in between the living room and the greenhouse.
And then I won't remember anymore.
That's why I did all the ones downstairs the same day. It is the next morning. It is negative 18 degrees Fahrenheit out this morning. Pretty chilly, but luckily when we came to the off-grid house, it was 37 in here without any heat going all night. So that is good. We got the little propane heater going. I got the electric heater going in the powerhouse. We're supposed to have full sun today and tomorrow. So hopefully we can top off our batteries. Believe it or not, since we've installed the Lion Energy solar systems, we have not had enough sun to fill everything up. So
We had like no sun. This is like when I first had Olivia. It was like dreary the whole time. Just weird.
it is. We've only had a little bit of sun every day, and we shouldn't say we haven't had no sun. We got a little bit of sun a couple of days ago, but all of the solar panels were covered with like a 1/4 inch of ice, and then some of the panels were covered in snow under that too. So luckily it finally melted off yesterday, and the batteries are starting to charge. So hopefully today we'll keep an eye on it, but the solar system should be topped off completely full for the first time. So that's gonna be awesome.
That would be so good.
But right now I wanna get into the mechanical room and I wanna pressure test all the work we did and make sure there's no leaks before we fill it with any kind of water or antifreeze. So let's get in there and see how I did. All right, we're gonna pressurize our radiant heat system to make sure we have no leaks.
There go bubbles.
All right, I used a new kind of thread tape that I've never used before, and I probably shouldn't have. I think that's the reason why we're getting leaks. It's a very thick tape, and it's supposed to be a good tape, But what I'm noticing is where you're starting it, if it doesn't start 100%, it like pulls back. I don't know, you can see some brass. I should have been looking better. But I gotta decide if I wanna try to redo it again with the same thread tape, or if I wanna just go get a better thread tape and just redo all of the fittings, and then we don't ever have to worry about it again. That's what I might do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaks that I'm seeing right now. So this is the first time I've used this mega tape. Leave it in the comments down below if you guys have used this and if you like it, how you use it and how you get it to work for you. I don't know, I'm not having luck with it. It's a lot thicker than the regular white tape that you would normally use. So I don't know what the issue is, but I am finding it is not staying in the threads, it is pulling out. I went the direction of the thread, so it's not like when I'm tightening it up, I'm going the wrong way, so I'm backing it out of the threads. I don't know. Leave it in the comments down below. Let me know what you think I did wrong so I can learn from it. All right. I just ran out and got everything we're gonna need to repair it. The bad news is we gotta take it all apart so we can fix all the threads. I'm gonna tear them all apart, whether they're leaking or not. I am not impressed with the mega tape. It's probably my issue, I don't know, but I've never had an issue before with the white tape or with the paste sealant. This is what I've always used, or what I used to use in the past when I was a diesel mechanic. We would use the paste or the white tape, never had an issue. I've heard a lot of people talking about the mega tape, so I figured I'd give it a try. I've seen a lot of great reviews about it, but for some reason, it doesn't like me. So we're gonna put that away. We're gonna use this. I'm gonna take all of my fittings and everything apart. I got some new pecs. We gotta cut all the pecs out, start all over again from scratch, get everything nice and watertight. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I'm gonna tear it all out. The only one I don't think I need to tear out is this pipe going to the mixing valve. And then everything else has got to come out. This needs to come out. So this whole piece of PEX has got to come out and get replaced. This is got to come out. So that whole upper piece, that top fitting is going to come out. I'm going to take out the heat exchange. I'm going to undo all the tape on every fitting and put the new paste on there. I'm going to take out all of the fittings, or plumbing I should say, to the hot water tank. Redo all of that also because there's some threaded fittings down there, and I don't want to put water in the system later on and then have a leak down the road. So as much as I hate to, I'm just going to tear it all apart and start over. I think that is the best thing to do. It's in there, but I don't know. I would love to know what the issue is here. I'm assuming it's something I did, but I mean, I had quite a bit on each fitting. I don't know what it is. I'd love to know. Let me know how you think I messed this up. Leave it in the comments down below. But so far, I'm happy with this. I guess we'll find out once we have it all back together and if we have any more leaks. All right, I have everything put back together. This side still needs to get fixed, but that's for the hot water we can test out the side for the heat and get that pressurized. And while that's pressurized and staying pressurized, I will fix the side for the hot water. I just figured while I'm doing that, I can pressurize the heat side and we can let it sit and see how it holds. Charge that up to 25 and we'll let it sit overnight. All right, we'll be back in the morning, which will be in this video in about 2 seconds, and we'll check to see if we have any leaks. I hope not. It is negative 19 degrees out Fahrenheit this morning. We need to get up to the off-grid property, see how the plumbing held the air pressure. I left the electric heat on overnight, so I want to see how warm it is up there. But first, we got a cold start for Tundra. I don't think she's gone lake yet. Ready? Oh, I hate starting vehicles when it's this cold. All right, we'll let that warm up. Ooh. Vehicles do not like starting when it's that cold. We'll let it warm up for probably 20 minutes anyways, and then we'll take a ride up. I'm gonna get some firewood and we'll meet you up at the off-grid property. All right, what are your guesses of how warm it is inside? When we left yesterday, or when we left last night, I should say, it was 60 degrees in there, and then all night long we've had a little electric radiant heater on that puts out what, 15 or takes 1500 watts to run. So I'm gonna say we're 50 degrees inside. All right, it feels comfortable in here. I can't see my breath, so that's a bonus. Let's see. Very interested to see how warm the heater kept it. So this is our little heater. Negative 943. So it kept it warmer in here. All right, and it is at 0. It did not hold the air pressure overnight. Let me pressurize it and then I'll get right back with you. And sit right there. All right, I found the leak. The top bushing on this heat exchanger was leaking. It actually was leaking yesterday, and I took it out 2 different times and put pipe dope on it. I did it again right before we left last night, and I thought everything was good. And then this morning, it was still leaking on this one. So I don't think it's the heat exchanger, because first time it was leaking on the front of the heat exchanger. So I took out the bushing, re-pipe dope it, and I doped it really good, put it back in. It was still leaking. That time it was leaking on the back. So I took it back out, did it again, and I checked it quickly. It was getting late and it wasn't leaking. So I thought this morning that's where it was leaking, and it was leaking on the back side again, not on the front. So I'm thinking it's something to do with this bushing. Luckily, I had a stainless steel bushing for a pot of the outdoor boiler. So I put that in. I'm gonna let it sit for a little while and then we'll pressure test it. The only thing I don't know is it's kind of cold, and this pipe dope is a little thick. I don't know if that has anything to do with why that would have happened, or if that bushing had a crack in it. Not sure. Fingers crossed when we check it, it doesn't leak again. Because if it leaks again, I'm gonna say it's the heat exchanger, and I'll have to return that heat exchanger and get a new one. Yeah, that's how I feel. All right, so I wanna redo all of our thread fittings on the hot water side too. So last night I removed our pipe thread extensions, but I have some bushings in here, one there and one there that didn't come out. So I had to borrow a 2 1/8 inch socket. I'm gonna take out our bushings, put pipe dope on those, replace this line. All that's been replaced up above. And then we'll have to replace this red line going over. And then we'll pressurize everything and see how we're doing. Hopefully we can check this off our list for good. It's been one of them jobs, guys. Sometimes you just have one of those jobs. I don't like to be like a Debbie Downer about it or get all whatever, because just sometimes stuff just happens. I have no idea why this job's been such a fight. I've done a lot of different pipe fitting stuff before and have never had issues like this. I don't know if it's the cold, if that's what's messing up everything. I used to work as a diesel mechanic, and we would work on 18-wheelers doing air lines with brass fittings and hydraulic fittings with brass fittings. And we would do it in the wintertime when it was cold too. So I have no idea. I've been scratching my head on this of what the issue is, but I don't know. So let's get to it. Now I don't know if these fittings are leaking, but I also don't want to chance it. So there's the pipe tape. I mean, it's on there. I just don't know. So we're gonna start all over. Holy smokes. The inverters are kicked on. Okay. So the battery is completely charged yesterday. We had the heater on all night, which drained the batteries down some overnight. Now we have full sun out again, and the inverters are cranking, taking in that heat and putting it on into the heater. So let's open up our app and see what we have coming in for solar. Right now we have 14.8 kilowatts of solar. The batteries are 81% charged, so we have almost 13 kilowatts of energy going into the batteries, and 1.5 kilowatts are going to the heater. Boom. So we are doing good. Those solar panels will make 17.8 kilowatts of power. So we're getting close. Let's try this again. We're gonna pressure test the system. The inverters are running and they're kind of loud, so I don't know if we have any leaks or not. You don't hear any air, but I guess we'll let that sit while we do the rest of the hot water side, and we'll see what happens. That's all the mega tape that was on all the fittings. You made a mess.
You always do this. You didn't think I had enough mess to pick up?
Right? Wanted to make more for you. I just got done setting up this Govee Wi-Fi temperature gauge. Somebody sent that. I don't know who it was. There was no note. But if you sent it, thank you. So now we can keep an eye on the temperatures of the off-grid house from our phone anywhere we are. So that's good to know because we want to make sure that in here stays above 32 degrees. So far we haven't had an issue, but now we can check and keep an eye on it. There we go. All right, that one's done. Well, it's all back together. Hopefully that's the last time we have to take it apart and put it back together. It's holding pressure. It's been holding pressure for well over an hour now. We should be in good shape.